Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 97 of the Sovereign Storytellers podcast with your host, Michelle Wolf. Today, we're going to talk about human design as embodiment practice. And celebrate with me. I just got my level 3 certification in human design studies from Karen Curry Parker system. I study all the systems, but my focus is on with Karen Curry Parker because of the empowering language that's being added to what's available to us to learn about human design. Her book's coming out next month. Believe me, I will be pre-ordering and grabbing a copy as soon as I can. Language matters, and we need empowerment language, and it's time for an update, so yay. Let's see, second thing, just real quick, I have a human design informed business strategy mastermind. I don't really have like a title yet, but for 8 weeks, we're taking one task at a time to get your business going. There's lots of tasks. It's overwhelming. I get it. And then the months go by and you're still not posting or making your podcast episodes or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So if you have an idea and a plan and some of the pieces in place, but you're having trouble pulling it all together and getting going, if you've got one going and it's not going the way you want it to go, that's fine too. But I'm going to structure it for you. That's what I do. Like, I have a lot in my human design chart about bringing form out of chaos, bringing structure to chaos. So you can see that at thatmichellewolf.com/less hustle. Less hustle. So I love to talk about less hustle, more human design. The more human design we have, the more deeply we understand it, the less that we fall into that hustle trap. There's no hustle except for people who want to sell you stuff related to hustling. It's okay. When we learn better, we do better. Yeah. It's going to be noisy in the background because I'm on a tight time frame today. My mom's coming in, a wedding. My daughter's wedding is approaching. There's all these things happening, but I wanted to chat with you. So talk with me, walk with me while I make coffee because I haven't been awake that long. Human design as embodiment. I'm kind of an ass about systems, about things that feel like they box you in, the Myers-Briggs. I know that deep studies of the Enneagram don't actually box you in, but on the surface, it's like, oh, another damn thing. And I was always a little assy about astrology. And I know there's a lot of you rebel types out there that are like, don't fence me in. And also, the thing that entranced me about human design and made me pay out a bunch of money to start getting these deeper studies and deeper understandings and certifications and things, because whatever, that's a tangent. I'm trying not to be tangential today. Good luck. Is the embodiment piece, because I was already teaching all kinds of embodiment things. The bottom line for me is when people are struggling, they're not conscious of their body. They're not in their body. And I'm trying not to use that term because it's confusing and people get lost in that. What does that mean? So let's talk about conscious. You're consciously aware or you're not. So we don't think about breathing unless we're doing a breathing practice. Unless we shift our focus, we direct our awareness to the breath. You'll hear that in classes. Direct your attention to your big toe. Move your awareness to your fingers. Wiggle your fingers so that you're aware of your fingers. So being in your body is awareness, aware of what your body is telling you. because your body is a not so silent partner, like an animal. I don't think anyone who loves animals would say that they don't communicate. They're communicating all the time. They use their voice, they use their body language, they use their facial expressions. Interesting note that vets are now being trained in cat facial expressions. The shape of their eyes and their fur make animal facial expressions hard to read unless you've lived with them and studied them and you're looking for it. You're becoming aware of, right? So what I loved about, oh, do you hear the coffee? Ooh, it's a pour over. That's going to be delicious. So that's what attracted me and kept me with human design, is the bottom line of human design is embodiment. We are clunking around through the world, trying to make decisions, doing our very best with only a tenth of the information that we have available to us. Right? So can you imagine? Let's get conscious of how we've been making decisions. We're using our brain and our brain alone. We're using past experiences. We're using things that we've been taught. I don't want to go with that person because the last time I had any dealings with that person, it didn't turn out good. Past experience. Past experience. Here comes the opening of cat food. Treat this like a radio show, like an old-timey radio show with all this noise in the background. Got to feed the outside stray cat. He's not here very often, and he's here right now. So, embodiment. Let's go back to that. Always go back to the body. We are making decisions. What kind of business should I start? What kind of course should I buy? What kind of investments should I make? And we're coming at all that from the level of our brain. Only our brain isn't meant to be making those decisions. Your brain is meant to work in partnership to feed information to your body, and your body makes the final decision on which action to take. And we have completely left out, this isn't our fault, this is what we've been taught. We left out the sensations and the information and the decision-making parts of our body. And that's okay. That's what we've done. And now we get to do something different. Now we get to hear, hey, wait a minute. The reason a lot of my decisions go askew is because I'm not making them with my partner. Right? In a relationship, you don't make big decisions. Well, I hope you don't. You don't make big decisions and not include your partner. Like if you're married to or living with someone in a committed relationship or not even, you wouldn't pick up and move to Boston, I hope, from Atlanta on a whim and not tell them about it. not include them in the conversation, right? That'd be insane. Why would you do that? And now we get some boxer noise too. It's just a noisy kind of day. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. You would not leave your partner out because you know that you wouldn't make a great decision. That the decision you made wouldn't be as good if you didn't have your partner's input. Same with our body. Our decisions suck when we don't include our body because we have all this open space and defined space. And I'm not a human design teacher. I'm a human design coach. So I'm not like teaching the program and all the details. I can send you a link of where you can do that. Oh, and there's some more cat food. Just kicked a can of dry food across the thing. But we have all this open space in our chart. So if you pull your chart, if you haven't already, freehumandesignchart.com will get you the best, most updated software. Freehumandesignchart.com, you'll see colored in shapes and shapes that have no color in them. The shapes that have no color in them are open space. They receive energies and amplify them. Okay? So that means if you have open head and open ajna, third eye, and you're watching a webinar, and the person really believes in what they're selling, they're enthusiastic about it, it's their product. They're legitimate. Let's assume they're legitimate. They have a great product. And you get caught up in the enthusiasm and you buy it. It feels like the right decision to make. It feels good. Your body is lit up. You're excited about it. And then you buy it and you don't ever do the course. Or you buy it and immediately regret it within a few hours or days. Like, why? Or you buy it and you're really confused. Like, why did I buy a course on, backyard chickens? I don't even like chickens. I'm a vegan. Right? So we do stuff and then we're like, why did I do that? How did that even happen? Well, you're receiving the other person's enthusiasm, interpreting it as your own, picking up and feeling excited by their energy. Then you get away from them and you're like, oh, I'm not interested in backyard chickens. I don't want anything to do with that. Why'd I buy that thing? Okay. And ideally, if you're watching a thing about backyard chickens because you happen to flip on it or think you might be interested in that, you would not sign up during the buy now and get a bunch of bonuses you'll never use push. You would wait. You would feel into and listen for your body's authority. Your authority is your body. And in human design, there's 7 different ways that you can experience that authority. Now, I do have a free Facebook group where you can get a lot of this for free, like I just said. Practical Human Design for Success. If you enter that in Facebook's search bar, you'll find me. There's a couple of questions you have to answer. But you can learn more about type strategy and authority in there. And then as soon as I'm able to, I'll bring you the newest language and give you links for the book and stuff. So I'm not going to go over all the details about type strategy and authority because I want to keep the focus on embodiment and why that matters so much right now. With everything swimming around, I've talked previously about the importance of maintaining your own energy field. You can maintain your own energy field without any rituals, crystals, herbs, incense, whatever. I love those things, and also I don't want you to be dependent on them. I don't want to create a conditioned response where because every time you meditate you have a certain system that is good. And also it can inadvertently make it to where if you're in the airport and you need to slip into meditation space, you can't because you've conditioned yourself to only access that level of consciousness through a certain ritual with a certain crystal and a certain this or that or candle or the other thing, right? So do that ritual stuff if you want to, and train yourself to meditate while sitting in your car in a parking lot or at the airport or at the mall. Do people go to the mall still? I can't even tell you. I don't know anything. Is there a mall? But so my early trainings in Tai Chi and energy work was not to condition yourself to needing an external prompt or prop to access meditation states, different levels of consciousness. And I'm so grateful that I got that. So that has to do with being embodied. So in a way, building rituals involves your body. You're moving your hands, usually you're engaging the senses and sight, and it can be very pleasurable. I mean, rocks are gorgeous, and they have the energies. They will talk to you. They're just not required. They're partners, right? They're pieces of the ecosystem of your spiritual life, or whatever, however you want to call that. But your body is still the authority. Your body is still home base. Literally. If your body dies, you don't get to experience this planet for whoever knows how long, right? You don't get to experience your family. You don't get to pick up rocks and do things. And yet we treat our body like it's expendable. And it's so not. If you don't have it, you don't get to be here. You can't go buy a new car. If you crash your car, you can go get another one. But if you crash your body, well, it's going to be a while before you get to come back. And it's not going to be with the same people, right? So our bodies should matter more than they do. So we can talk about the history of, when people started being pushed to ignore and discount their bodies. That's usually coming from oppressors telling people to ignore their intuition and ignore their body because they need them to work the land to make the food for them or to make the money, right? We need you to work 16-hour shifts in a factory for very little money because I need to make money through your body. So I don't want you to pay attention to, hey, maybe we should have shorter work weeks. Maybe we should have our workers last longer and be happier. When you view people as expendable, and the mind does view people and things as expendable when they get in the way, right? So we have a long history of ignoring our body. Plus, if you have a lot of emotions and you have a nervous system that doesn't like the discomfort that can come with emotions, you will wall off your awareness, tune it out, right? So we can turn our awareness to our body and be aware of our lungs coming in and out. I can be aware in this moment of how I inhale and there's tension in my diaphragm that modulates and controls the speed and tone and sound and of my voice, right? If I tune my awareness to it. So getting in the body, just like the last podcast that I talked about, episode 96, is being aware of your body. So in human design, I get this question a lot. Well, I'm broken. Where's the broken parts so I can fix it? That's a mind question, right? My life isn't working, and I don't want to do the work of getting past the discomfort of my body and finding the delight in it. So just show me where the channel or the gate is so that I can fix it. It doesn't work like that. A lot of Ra's teachings talked about love. A lot of his teachings, I think, were like crazy pants, but a lot of it talked about love, and that's what really gets me. That's what really hooked me in, is this love for the body as the vehicle, and the mind as not the driver. The soul is the driver. It's moving through this world, doing things, experiencing things for a purpose. But the mind is the passenger. The mind is not meant to do anything but receive that information, think about it, analyze it, play with it, look at it from all the different directions, explore the realms of academia and knowledge and facts and categories and classifications and all the things that our mind loves to do. to learn and absorb, integrate, and then express through the body, to share that information with others. The way we share it, how we share it, comes back to our type, strategy, and authority. Our motivations for sharing it are influenced by our individual chart. But when we share it, how we share it is decided by the body, because the body has an exquisite sense of timing. The reason most of us are off track, aside from trying to make decisions from the realm of the mind, is we push against right timing. Your body knows when the right time is. The impulse to speak this brilliant idea you just had. The impulse to enroll in a course because it's the right time for you. And it's the right course for you. Like, you've given yourself enough time to feel for your body's, yeah, take this course. No, you don't need that course. You're just caught up in the enthusiasm. So there's no channel or gate that I can say, yeah, if you'll just fix gate 42, you'll be fine. Everything, your life will work. Oh, if you didn't have that channel 4323, life wouldn't be so hard for you. So if you can just fix that or ignore it, then, your life will work. It doesn't. That's not it, because you're not broken. You have that channel, and it's good that you have it. You have those gates. If they have color around them, they're defined or active. You have those because the combination of it all makes you the gift that you are. So we have to stay connected to our body in these energy spaces, in this tumult, these tumultuous, turbulent times. Your body knows where you should be in all of it. Your body knows that you've been on Facebook too long, or will give you the impulse to jump on Facebook right at the right time to see something that you need to see, that you've been looking for. Your body is the anchor. Your body is the still point. It's the steady place. It's the eye in the center of the hurricane, where you can chill, where you can feel your mind freaking out with all the possibilities, and your spleen producing all the fears of humanity, fears of past, present, and future that are mental stories that we tell ourselves. You can feel all that and be aware of all that while you're steady in the still point of your body. Without the awareness of your body, you don't know that your mind and your spleen are generating a big shit ton of anxiety that's okay. You don't have to pay attention to it. You don't have to stop it. You don't have to control it. You don't have to take a pill for it. There's a time and place for medication. But a lot of people end up taking medication because they don't have the skills to do anything else with the anxiety. The people dishing out the pills aren't saying, have you tried silent meditation, or have you tried chanting, or have you tried more exercise, have you tried less sugar, because sugar makes the brain insane. Okay, they're just handing out a pill. I'm not anti-medication if you really need it. I have no problem with that. But our body has the things that we're out there looking for. It's a mind that goes through the chart and says, demands to be shown the broken things. Give me the broken things so I can fix it. Show me how do I get rid of my spleen that's producing anxiety? How do I fix my open spleen that has trouble letting go of things? When you're asking those questions, which are so normal, you're way off track in terms of embodiment. You hear Tonka? He wants out. He's not getting out yet. All the answers that you're looking for All the motivation that you have to fix is contained in the body and resolved with awareness of the body. Human design tells you exactly where to go, not to fix, but to increase awareness, not to repair something broken, but to be aware of influences, to have a very sensitive and exquisitely sensitive awareness of the information held within your defined spaces and your open spaces and what that means. When you bring your focus back again and again to your type, strategy, and authority, am I a manifester? What is the strategy for moving through the world as a manifester? And how do I do that? What's my authority for making decisions? And what does that mean? You will turn your life around. When people get involved in human design and nothing changes, it's because they're not getting to those places and asking, what is me? What's not me? How do I handle this journey back into the body? Talking about the hero's journey. To me, that's it. It's a representation, it's a metaphor, analogy. I always get those two mixed up. Of a journey inward. So in the hero's journey, you leave and you go through some stuff and you come back with wisdom. Well, if we approach that same storyline, which is the storyline of every story out there, so watch any movie and, from an objective standpoint, see how the character gets involved, what they go through, and then how it wraps up. And treat that as a journey inward. Instead of leaving your village, you're leaving the mind, the village of the mind. You're leaving, being a resident of the mind only, and going on this journey into these dark, mysterious, deeply feminine places. And feminine, if you're male or female, doesn't matter. The realm of female energy is mysterious. You can't control it. You don't get to control when a baby is conceived. You don't get to control how it develops. You don't get to control when it's born. Well, you can interfere with that, and sometimes you have to. But, the baby decides when it's going to come, when it's going to enter into the world. Our bodies are mysterious. We can't control our heartbeat. We can influence it. We can influence our breath. But there's so many mysteries of the body that even though we've mapped out every particle of it, the wholeness is a mystery. Why do we die when we die? We don't know. We have theories, but we don't know. And it can be easier to stay up in the land of the mind, in the kingdom of thought, because we can nail down thoughts, We can put information in categories, and we like that. We like the lack of mystery in boxing things up, because we don't then have to feel the anxiety of the mystery, right? Mysterious things create anxiety. So we're always running around trying to nail it down and predict everything so that we're never caught off guard. So basically that we never experience an awareness of our body. When things go wonky, our bodies react to it. And we'll just do almost anything to shut that down, the awareness of that down. Things go rough in a relationship. Our biggest problem can be dealing with how our body responds to conflict. Getting comfortable with those sensations so that then we can allow time for the right words to come to express what we need to express in our communication and partnerships, close relationships, colleagues, all of that. The biggest problem that most people come to me with is solved by patience. It's not that the ideas are wrong or that the life path is wrong. It's usually an issue of wrong timing that's off. If the timing is off, literally, the timing in your engine, the car engine, if the timing is off, it won't run. If your timing belt breaks, you're done. Timing is important for everything. If the timing of the growing season is off and we can't compensate for it, we lose our food. If the timing is off on a request for a raise at work, it doesn't go well. If the timing is off for putting a course out in the world, it can be because it wasn't yours. It's an idea you picked up out of the ethers but wasn't meant for you to implement. But it can be that the people who need that course aren't aware that they need it yet. So often people are ahead of the curve. They get the information before, so there's time for development, right? But instead we get the information, we throw it out there real quick. But the people who need it aren't ready for it yet. They haven't had time to wake up, and you haven't had time to fully develop that course, assuming that it's yours. So everything that is received by the mind is meant to be then delivered to each other. The mind is a receiver, an analyzer, a teacher, uses the information to share, to spread, to model to each other. It's not meant to decide and constrict and box in the personal life, the body. Every time you bring yourself back to your authority, that's an embodiment practice. So I'm just going to use sacral authority. Sacral authority, because generators are the biggest part of the population. So generators and manifesting generators make up 70% of the charts that have been tested, which are probably in the millions by now. So generators, manifesting generators have sacral authority or emotional authority. And even emotional authority is influenced by the sacral, which is a yes-no system. The sacral chakra, your low belly gut feeling, typically is answered. You think a question, your body may grunt, Or if you're a manifesting generator with the 3420 channel, especially, you may say a quick yes, no. You might feel your body lean forward for yes or away for no. Your head might nod for yes, and your head might automatically shake, so I decide for no. Body-based. So a lot of times, this is true for most of us, no matter what our authority is our body tells us what we should or shouldn't do, and our mind says otherwise. And we've been trained to defer to the mind, which gets us in hot water. It just makes life a struggle, right? We don't need to buy courses that aren't for us. It's a waste of our time and a waste of money. It's time and money that could be better spent and leveraged for launching other things that are in alignment with what you're here to do. So it's not that these things are bad. Sometimes they do have really bad consequences, but a lot of these things are just like, oh, I bought that thing and it wasn't for me. Check, lesson learned. Remember to go back to my body. So every little decision can be made by consulting your internal yes-no response system. In the beginning, it can be very hard to hear because we are disconnected and we don't want to feel our emotions. We don't want to feel the sensations in our nervous system. We don't want to feel the pain that we have because the pain is telling us something needs to change and we don't want to change it. Your body is telling you that course is not for you. But your mind is like, yeah, but I'm so excited about it. It feels so good. It has to be right for me. Click, click, here's my credit card. But the enthusiasm wasn't the answer. The enthusiasm from your mental excitement wasn't a yes or a no. It was an experience of you being connected to another individual's enthusiasm. It didn't belong to you, so to speak. So in that case, you would get away from the webinar. The webinar ends, you're so excited, you're thinking of all the ways that it could apply for you, how it could help you, how those 7 steps could bring you your first, 6-figure year, the magical 6-figure unicorn that everyone is chasing, including me, right? So you would get away from it and then you would write down a list of options. Yes, no questions for sacral authority. Feeling into the body, asking the questions out loud and answering them out loud. Or ideally, you can have someone else ask you the questions so that you can answer out loud. And if you don't want to share that process, you can use a voice recorder to record a bunch of questions that you already know the answer to, and then pop in the question that you need an answer to, but you suspect that your mind is going to override your gut instinct. So you sandwich it in between questions that you already know the answer to, so that you can bypass the mind and blurt out what you actually your real answer. When you do that, your body will say, no, don't buy the course. And your mind's like, yeah, but it's so cool, right? But when you switch and stop deferring to the mind and practice trusting, okay, well, I'm super excited about it, but my body's saying no, so I'm going to give it a miss. Usually within a few days, you forget all about it. A few hours, a few minutes, you just forget all about it because you disconnected from that process and you paid attention to your body's no. Our mind doesn't understand why our bodies are saying, do this, don't do that. And we don't need to understand. Trying to nail it down and pick apart a process of mystery can literally drive you insane. Trusting the mystery. Practice on small things. Practice on what shirt your body wants to wear today. What color. You can do this or that, red or blue. And let your hand just reach out and pick. Do you want a salad today? Do you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today? Do you want coffee today? Do you want tea today? Practice on little things. Does it feel good in your body? And that alone is often not enough because our mind is influencing our body, right? That enthusiasm from somebody else can feel good in your body. So that's not always an accurate way either. But your authority is. So sticking with sacral authority, it's a yes or it's a no. If it's a maybe, you need to ask different questions. If you aren't getting an answer at all, it could be an issue of timing. But generally, I find if you keep twisting the question, adapt it, adjust it a little bit, and keep coming at it, you'll eventually get to that yes or no. And again, that process takes time. That's the embodiment practice of human design. Some people have to talk out, have to verbally. Now, a lot of people are external processors. We get answers when we talk it through. But for some projectors, people with lots of open space, talking things through, just brain dumping out loud. You can also brain dump on paper. That process brings the click of a yes or a no, but it is still a click. It's felt in the body. There's a relaxing, or there's a knowing without knowing how you know. So there's these 7 different ways that you have an internal answering system in your body. You don't have to go to an oracle deck. You don't have to go to a psychic. You don't have to go to your mama. You can go to your own body. In these turbulent times, being present and partnering and reconnecting your awareness to your body is critical for how you get through these next few months and years. Your body is home base. When your mind goes spinning out on all the potentials, that's what your mind is designed to do. Well, we could all come together and we could save our country. Well, our country could go up in flames. Well, we could all starve to death. Well, we could you know, that mind, it just does that thing. But if you can do one thing, and that is run your chart, find your type, strategy, and authority, and start studying that and that alone. Let go of the gates, let go of the channels, study the type, the strategy, and authority, your open spaces and your defined spaces. Get an understanding of what that means before you get lost in the particulars of gates and channels. And keep coming back to the body. So your mind spins out. You catch that you're spinning out. You catch that you're about to lay down your sweet moolah for something, but you haven't checked with your body first. You catch that. You drop everything and go tune into your body. What does the air feel like coming in and out of my body? That's why so many philosophies are like, focus on your breath. It's always with you. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to locate it. You don't have to dig it out of your bra. If you're a person that stuffs crystals in their bra, which I think is so hilarious. It's so cute. You don't have to go get anything. You just have to come home. You need an answer? Go home. You don't feel good? Go home. You're caught up in an anxiety whirlwind? Go home. Go home to your belly. Go home to your breath. Go home to your hips, your feet. Ask to be shown where you think you're grounded in your body, but you're not. Multiple times I've had clients that were cut in half. Like the example I used on the Forest Reiki Q&A was this image I got of the old well, I don't know if it's an old magic trick. I don't know anything about the world of magic tricks, but the cut the woman in half box magic trick where a woman gets in a box. The magician makes a big deal about sliding a metal plate in the middle, and then the box comes apart, and oh, she's cut in half. Oh my God. Then they put the box back together, lift the metal plate out, and yay, she's back whole. That is a perfect description of energetic blockages that I see a lot, because we're trained to ignore everything below the chest, sometimes below the throat, below the belly, everything down below we are disconnected from. So we can think we're grounded, but we're not. I keep meaning to do a podcast on being grounded versus being present, because there's a nuance there that I need to do an episode about, and I just haven't done it yet. Go home, go home, go home. Take your ass home. Go home, honey bunny. Home is in your belly. Home is in your heart. You can grab your hands. You can start taking deep breaths just to be aware of the sensation. You can start taking shallow breaths to be aware of the sensation. Run your foot on around whatever it's on. Like if you're wearing shoes, wiggle your feet in your shoes to try and feel your feet in the shoes. Touch your clothes. Grab the hem of your shirt or your shorts or whatever you're wearing and just kind of roll that hem around. Look at the stitching and feel your fingers in contact with that fabric. Moving your awareness from the realm of the mind to the quiet stillness that's held in the body. When the body's agitated, sometimes it's instinct that something is wrong, something needs your attention. Sometimes all that agitation is coming from the mind. We need to be aware of where it's coming from. We need to be asking those questions. Is this mine? Do I need some time outdoors? Have I had enough water? Have I had the right amount of and the correct kind of food? Have I had enough food? Have I had too much food? Do I need to have sex? Do I need to take a nap? What does my body need right now? What is discomfortable? What is uncomfortable in my body that I'm not wanting to feel, so I'm resisting this whole notion of embodiment? What would it mean to be aware of my body? Why am I so opposed to going through a period of discomfort in learning to partner with my body? We go through discomfort in new relationships all the time. All new relationships have moments of discomfort. Moments when you find out that you thought this person liked pickles and they actually hate them. And you're like, what? I thought I knew you. Why didn't you tell me you don't like pickles? When people first move in together, who's gonna, somebody squeezes the toothpaste from the middle, somebody rolls it up from the bottom. I roll it up from the bottom because I'm not a monster. So, you know, there's adaptations, there's moments of discomfort, there's moments of, why did I even start this process? It's the same in a relationship with your body. You approach your body as a friend that you are going to spend your entire life with, and just come from the perspective that what you think you know is not the whole story. See if you can catch that gap between stimulus and response. The more often you catch the gap between watching a webinar and whipping out your credit card, the longer you take to make decisions, the more you can hear your body's telling you, don't do that. Don't book that flight because the world's about to be shut down. So glad I listened to that one before I actually bought the ticket to Paris. Don't do it. Don't go out with that guy. Don't go to the grocery store now. Don't leave for Atlanta now because there's a wreck on 75. Right? Your body has everything. Everything. All the answers, all the time, 24/7. You can get an answer from your body. A lot of times the answer is don't do anything right now. Relax. Drink some water. Take a nap. Everything is fine. People hate that one, right? I do. I used to really hate that. Everything's fine. You're on the right track. Be patient. Blech. I had someone I was doing, sometimes on my Facebook page I'll do like quick one answer readings. Like, put a question, I'll give you the first image or the first few words that come to mind, and then you need to go figure it out, the rest of it yourself. But I'll often get either convoluted questions that I get an image of a bowl of spaghetti because the question isn't clear. And but a lot of times the question is, everything is fine, all is well, to be patient, wait. So I had one woman get really mad at me and say that, oh, that's what all psychics say. All of you all just say, wait. I'm like, okay, well, isn't that a message to you? If you keep going to psychics and they're telling you to wait, isn't that the answer, to wait? Like, she got really upset. But that is the answer. I know that's frustrating, but it's only frustrating to the mind. It's the mind that's like, come on, hurry up, gotta make the money. Gotta bring in the bacon. Gotta find some certainty. Good luck. So if we just I know it's not easy. I know it's a lifetime journey. It's years of deconditioning yourself from the ways that you've been taught to depend on the body, and to reverse that, to depend on the mind. See? To depend on, wait, I've got it all backwards. To depend on the body, to go to the body, to treat your body as the magic 8-ball, to treat your body as your Ouija board that will never bring you a mean ghosty voice. To treat your body as your living oracle deck that will always tell you exactly what to do or not do. Okay, and again, it's not that don't use oracle decks, don't play with your crystals, don't, do whatever ritual feels good to you. There's value in that. But even in that, you can be influenced by your open spaces, and you need to rely on your body's final answer. Your body is the final answer. Your body is the final authority. It's the go ask your mother, and mama's answer is the final answer. And you can throw a fit about it, but it's still the answer. Okay, so as we're going forward, I'm recording this on September, is today the 9th? I don't know. Early September 2020. We're in for a rocky ride for the next few months because our country is doing what it did back in the late 1700s. It's deciding what it wants to be. It's falling apart so it can fall together in a new, hopefully better form. I have my preference about what I want our country to do, but I don't have control over that. I can remember to stay home, literally, because of the virus is still spreading, and I am in Georgia, which seems just can't get its shit together. So staying home literally, but staying home figuratively. It will help you be aware of all the things that happen, but not make decisions from that chaotic place. Not frantically change your business because people are changing their buying patterns. Maybe you do need to change your business. Maybe you need to take a little, I don't know, do something different for a while. Do customer service for U-Haul, rent-a-trucks or something. I don't know. Your body will tell you. When you feel the spin, when you feel the fear, when you feel the anxiety, when you're asking, are we going to make it as a country? Your mind can't answer that. Your body may not be able to answer that either because things are in motion, right? We don't have all the information to be able to answer that question. Things can shift on a dime, and lately they are shifting on a dime, and that freaks us out. It doesn't freak our body out. Use your human design as an embodiment practice Do not use your human design as a map to discover what you think is broken so that you can fix it so that your life will work. It's not a schematic to show you where the connections are wrong or the wiring is broken. It's an invitation to come home. It says to you, here's your open spaces, and these are the things to be aware of. Here's your defined spaces, and these are the things to be aware of in each chakra, in each center. And here is your home base, 1 out of 7 options that is your go-to, your home base, the place for you to return to again and again and again and again until you feel solid and calm and aware of all the chaos. It doesn't mean the chaos goes away. It means that you are calm within the chaos. You are the I, the still, quiet I, as the hurricane's chaos whirls around you and through you. When I took Tai Chi years ago, I loved it because it wasn't about coming at your opposing forces, coming at your opponent with an opposition in the face of opposition, like 2 forces connecting. It was water. Flow around it. Someone's coming at you, twist your body, let them go on by, and then flip them over or do whatever you need to do, right? Moving, twisting, flowing, always heightened awareness of all the flows around you. Now, this is ideal, right? In our practices to learn the ways to do that. To learn to step away and return to the breath, to go home to the body over and over again. Okay? Lots of ways you can practice. Just go Google embodiment. Lots of things that are going to get in the way of your embodiment practice, and most of that involves a nervous system that's agitated, a mind that's agitated, anxious about the sensations of emotions in the body, especially the lower body. If you've had trauma, sexual trauma in the lower body, if you've had injuries, if you've had chronic pain, these things make it a challenge to reconnect to your body. But it can be done, and the more you do it, the better those things get. If you want a Human Design Foundations coaching session, it's not, I'm going to vomit out a bunch of information on you. We're going to apply it to what you're going through. I don't do pre-recorded readings because everybody's a little unique, and your challenges to mastering your authority are the same thematically, but the details of it are unique. And I want you to have the opportunity to ask questions and get refinements, and so that you understand it. If you're studying on your own, study all the things, but keep coming back to your authority, because if you're not living by your strategy and authority, human design is just another thing that you've plugged into your brain that doesn't change your world. When you're living your type strategy and authority, your world will change. Your experience of it will change. So if you want to work with me on thatmichellewolf.com/human design. If you want to get in on the mastermind, which starts October 1st, it's 8 weeks. It's a single payment of $550 or 2 payments of $297. And I'm going to help you structure your chaos and get in your body and move, accomplish goals that you can see, tangible achievements. No theory without tangible results. Done with that crap. That one is thatmichellewolf.com/less hustle. All right. Go home. Go on home with you now. Y'all go on home now. And I will talk to you next time. And in the meantime, think less, feel more.